So today we're talking about conspiracy theories. What was your first?
I'm pretty sure that my first one was actually that Andy Kaufman is actually alive. There was a big website going around years and years and years ago called Andy Lives, and I think it's dead now, but which is ironic. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I was gonna say ironic. Yeah.
but yeah, I would spend so many hours on that website, and I could never do it during the day. Like I had to wait till it was at night so that I get really creeped out, and yeah. But I don't know, that's one that I still kind of look up every once in a while, hoping that he is going to come back one of these days.
Yeah. I remember that I didn't know who he was until you told me, because I remember that he's mentioned in the REM song "Man on the Moon," but I didn't realize he was an actual person until you told me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I feel like in a way I'm not actually supposed to be a fan of his because he was very kind of demeaning to women, but at the same time, I kind of, I guess I choose to believe that that was part of his act and it wasn't really true. I don't know, he's just one I've been fascinated with. That one, and then I think my second big one was probably that Paul McCartney's actually dead.
That's Abbey Road, right?
It is,
With the
yeah.
with the feet.
It's not just that though. Like, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Band, that's a big one with it too. Like, there's supposed to be hints everywhere.
I think Mum told me that like if you, or maybe it was you, if you rewind one of the songs.
Yep, you can hear John saying, he says a few things. He says, "Turn me on, dead man," and what was that? I'm sorry.
Is it Paul is
It's
dead?
probably. It's probably something really simple. But yeah, there's a few that it's like that, and they seem so clear that you're like, there's no way that they didn't put them in here on purpose. But they seem to be completely dumbfounded whenever it's brought up. So
I know I've mentioned it before, and I still feel bad because when you wanted to show me the documentary, we should actually watch it sometime.
which one?
About like Paul being dead.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot. I watch a lot of conspiracy theory documentaries, so like that's my kind of go-to is either true crime or conspiracy theories because I just get lost in them, I guess. But yeah, no, we should definitely watch that. Date night.
Yeah, been a while.
Did we ever watch Man on the Moon either?
No.
Okay, that's another one.
It's is it Jim Carrey?
It is, and there's another documentary on Netflix called Becoming Andy about how it's supposed to be how like Jim Carrey kind of like lost his mind getting into this character, but I don't know, just like with everything else Andy related, I think that there's some I don't know that that's completely not an act also.
Yeah, I guess my issue with that is I don't like Jim Carrey.
It's okay, just pretend he's Andy. It'll be fine.
But I don't know Andy.
Okay, well, you're about to learn. You understand. Okay, so I don't know. I don't think I've ever made this obvious whatsoever, except for on my Twitter. Anyway, you know I'm a huge WWE fan.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. Like, I have so many different avenues that I get obsessed with Andy Kaufman about. Because growing up, I used to watch the reruns of Taxi all the time, and he was locked on Taxi. and I was obsessed with Saturday Night Live, and he was on Saturday Night Live. He got banned from Saturday Night Live. And then he became the intergender champion of the world or whatever by wrestling women. And that's when he got involved with Jerry Lawler. And Jerry Lawler and him had this feud going. They got into a huge fight on David Letterman, and there was cussing and water thrown and a broken neck. And well, the broken neck wasn't from there. He came out with the neck brace on. But anyway, like every year around the time that they start doing the WWE Hall of Fame and announcing who's going to be put in, I start tweeting, okay, it's time to put Andy in, but he was in Memphis Wrestling, not WWE, but Jerry Lawler still. Anytime I tweet about Andy and tag him, I don't think there's been a time that he has not retweeted it. And, like, he was very close to Andy. And so, I don't know, it's just one of those things where I'm like, it's the 7 degrees of separation, except for there's always, like, 2 with Andy Kaufman, it feels like. I don't know, I probably just sound crazy now.
No, I mean, it's probably different because, as I said, I don't know about Andy, so, like, yeah.
Yeah.
The main thing I know Jim Carrey from, and this is probably going to show my age, is a series of unfortunate events.
Okay.
Like, I haven't seen The Truman Show.
I'm kind of weird, as in, like, his early stuff.
I can't even tell you anything else he's been in.
Ace Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
That was
yeah.
Ventura, the Mac.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ace Ventura, so.
I don't know. I'm kind of weird where I don't so much like his comedy. And I mean, I used to, but I think he is so good as a serious actor that, like, Cable Guy, that's, like, probably, besides Man on the Moon, my favorite Jim Carrey. Okay. And there's probably others that I'm not thinking of that would be like, oh, wait, no, I would have put that up there higher, but...
I haven't seen that either, so, you know.
We have to watch that, too. I think, okay, here's my thing. I think a lot of people look at Jim Carrey as just kind of almost like, you know, the Dumb and Dumber and
oh yeah,
Ace
I forgot
Ventura.
about that movie.
Yeah, like over the top, just almost like raunchy comedy, and I am not a fan of that.
Well, he's serious in a series of unfortunate events, and he's not.
I haven't seen that one.
And he's not bad in that, but.
See, I feel like he's a very good serious actor, and I think he his start is in comedy, and I think too, you know, he talks about the whole law of attraction thing. Have you ever seen that video?
Where would I have seen it?
It's on YouTube. It was an interview that he did, and he talked about how, like, he was broke, and he wrote himself a check for like $1 million or some crazy amount. And he would carry it around in his wallet, and he would look at it, and he was just like, yep, I'm going to cash that. And so he was able to, and I think it was The Mask that he was able to. And, I mean, I almost think that, like, his comedy, he just kind of, I don't know, I kind of think it was a way to serve a means. He's funny, yeah, but I think it was kind of his way of, it was how he could get his money, you know? I don't know. Yeah. That probably doesn't make sense.
I mean, you were telling me that it was on YouTube, but, like, if I don't like Jim Carrey, why would I search for him on YouTube?
Well, if you were like me, then you would search for law of attraction.
True. Yeah.
See? There's reasons.
Yeah. My first conspiracy theory, because we spoke about yours, so it's only fair.
Right.
Given my age, it would be 9/11.
Okay.
I
No,
remember.
that's
I remember I spent a day on YouTube just watching videos about it,
yeah.
and it scared the crap out of me.
That's another one that I get really into because I'm pretty sure we're both showing our age on here and that we do have an age difference. But yeah, I remember everything just feeling like it was surreal that day. And so it was like when they started coming out with conspiracy theories, it was like, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that's probably what happened. I don't know. Obviously, I don't believe every conspiracy theory. I don't want to sound like I'm naive and gullible, but it's kind of fascinating to listen to other people's sides and be like, wait, that's true.
Yeah, like there's too many coincidences.
Yeah.
Mum often tells a story, and I don't know if you've heard it, but about how the day it happened, we were watching TV, and obviously because of what it was and the magnitude of it, it was on every station.
And she thought you broke the TV.
No, not exactly.
That's what she told me. She said that
okay.
You guys were switching the channel, and you're like, it's on every channel, and
Yeah.
she was like,
It can't
that's
be.
stupid. It can't be on every channel. She's like, oh God, what did they do to the TV now?
Okay, yeah, that then. Another one that I think is just flat out actually didn't happen was the moon landing.
Yeah. That one, I don't know a whole lot about that one, I'll be honest.
Well, so you like Stanley Kubrick, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So 2001: A Space Odyssey, he did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so I'm not sounding dumb on my own podcast. But yeah, like that was done like what, the year or 2 years before the moon landing?
It was pretty close.
So like,
I'll look it up as we talk.
So like, if they can do that in Hollywood, why can't they just recreate it?
Yeah, no, and there's all the stuff about like a shadow and the way that the flag was waving.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2001 Space Odyssey, sorry, can't talk. It was the year before.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, mainly that is why I don't believe it.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize it was so close. Like I know that they say that it was on the soundstage and that there's just like hints to it.
I mean,
I guess in a way, Buzz Aldridge has been so kind of no BS with most of the stuff he says that it's like, oh, he says it was true, so I didn't really even look into it too much. That sounds bad.
Well, another thing is, like, think about like the technology then. Like, if we could do it then, why can't we do it now? Like, it hasn't been done since. It hasn't been recorded since, you know?
Yeah, that is a point. I didn't really think about that.
Like they didn't even have the internet then. Like, they barely had a computer.
Right.
Like, taking one of those, like, big cameras to the bloody moon. Like, how would you have enough batteries or charge for that?
Yeah, I mean, well, how do they do? I probably sound really, really stupid right now. How do they do like the whole like video chats from the
Like live crosses?
Do what?
Like live news crosses?
Well, no, like, there was a big thing where they would do, like, video chats to classrooms and stuff from space.
Well, see now, that's not too far-fetched because, like, I mean, solar,
Yeah.
you know, that's a bit
But they
different.
could do it. They could use that same technology to, like, film like that, though, right? Because wasn't it live as it was happening?
Yeah, well, supposedly happening, yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah. Without a camera. You could hear it in my voice.
Right.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of conspiracies. Well, I mean, obviously.
Right.
One of my favorites is, I think it's birds aren't real.
I've heard that one, but that's not one that I've really. I think you told me about it.
Yeah, and it's like apparently they're like drones or whatever, and their eyes are cameras and stuff, and they're just the government spying on everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe
Yeah,
that, but I just think it's clever, you know.
it is. Like, I had not heard that one. That's not one that I would have thought, oh, yeah, that makes. Like, some of them you're like, how did they come up with this? Because people are obviously, like, they go bird hunting and stuff. Like, did somebody find one with a machine inside it? I'm sorry, my cat's going crazy if you can hear him meowing.
Oh, yeah, I think it picked it up. I heard it briefly.
He's running back and forth across the rooms, and there's no controlling him. Maybe he's a drone. I don't even know at this point.
Maybe he's a conspiracy theory. Maybe he was put on the planet to drive you crazy.
He's standing in the doorway, hopping sideways in the door, meowing and running back out.
Oh. Daily exercise.
Yeah, a couple of, like, the conspiracy theories that I get really into. Like, I really like the one about the Denver airport. Do you know about that one?
It's people going missing, is it?
No, it's, if you look at it, the design of the airport, it's like a swastika.
Oh.
And from the air, and then it's got all these weird paintings all the way through it. Like, I can't remember what some of them are right now, but I know there's a statue of a Bronco outside because they're the Denver Broncos. It's their football team. I'm not sure if you knew that, but
yeah.
Okay. The eyes on the statue glow, and they're like red. It just, people say it looks like some kind of like Satan worshipping deal. And I don't know, the paintings are just very, very bizarre, and there's supposed to be a secret network of tunnels underneath the airport so that they can, like, I think it's supposed to be like the bunker for like hide famous people type thing. Or I might be combining a couple to Illuminati in there with the Denver airport.
Sounds about right. But yeah, I think both you and I, apart from our like original conspiracy theories like Andy Kaufman and me with like 9/11 and stuff, a lot of it came from Shane Dawson.
It did. I was just thinking that's actually how I met you, is technically because of Shane Dawson, watching conspiracy theories and found Poppy.
Yeah. And I found Poppy through PewDiePie, but I was already on the case. I don't even know if I was going to say I don't know if I watched that video, but I would have. because I watched
Yeah,
a
I think
lot of
too
videos
about
about Poppy.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, because
it's
like
always
I
interesting.
don't
Sorry.
I kind of no, I'm sorry, I keep cutting into you. Um I wish he would have mentioned Mars in some of his videos.
But that's not really a conspiracy theory.
But it was in the beginning. Because it was like, where did she go? Why? What does she have to do with Poppy? And
Yeah, but there wasn't...
because, like, I remember one of the I'm sorry, bring over my words. One of the first videos that I saw that he mentioned Poppy, I want to say it was when she had blood coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And then he would talk about, like, the number 336, but never tied them together with Mars. Like, I found that just from the community.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I guess I never thought that there was a conspiracy towards Mars. I thought that she just either died or left, and that there weren't any, like, underlying circumstances, I suppose. But I was wrong, wasn't I?
Well, the conspiracy I always had about it was that she actually left to have a baby with Titanic, and that was why they had to bring in Poppy. And
Oh,
yeah, I was also wrong. I was very, very wrong.
you know about my first ever like Marsii video, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I'm not talking about the Marsii theory with proof.
I don't know.
I'm talking about the one before that is nowhere, and I don't have a copy. And it's kind of unfortunate that I remember it, because if you look back at it, it's very stupid. But I thought that Poppy and Mars were the same person.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I made an entire video about it. I think it was titled something like that Poppy thing that no one's talking about, or something like that.
So they weren't talking about it because it didn't make sense? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it made sense to me, and like I can see, because like they were both blonde and they kind of look similar. But you know,
Okay.
I'm guessing you never thought that they looked similar.
Not really. But I can't fault you. I thought Mars had a baby, so.
I mean, I did too.
Oh,
Yeah, I made an entire video about it and didn't actually put it out.
I really thought that she was actually, like, behind the scenes, and that's how they were getting away with the whole making so many references. Yeah,
So
kind of broke my heart when the lawsuit came out.
yeah, and then just listening to the music and realizing that it was all there.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I remember the day the lawsuit hit. I got the notification from TMZ on my phone as I was pulling into my trainer. And all I saw was Poppy on TMZ, and I'm like, wait, what? And so I didn't even read the whole headline. I got there and I opened up the story, and I sat there and cried. And I was wearing a Charlotte shirt. And there was this woman that worked out at the gym, and she spoke very, very limited English. And so, like, we just had a few words we could say to each other. And she was coming out as I was going in, and it's the Charlotte shirt that says, "Who is she?" And she looked and she smiled and said, "Who is she?" And I just, like, made the motion with my neck. I'm like, no. I can't explain this to someone who doesn't speak English. I have to walk away. Yeah.
Yeah, you can barely explain it to someone who does speak English.
But everyone at my work, I've given it a good shot. And it's to the point where, like, one of my best friends there does not like Poppy. Like, and if I want to freak her out, all I have to do is play any Poppy video. And I think the first time I played X for her, she was just like, turn it off, turn it off.
Yeah. So actually, was there any like evidence that you found about your theory with Mars?
Well, I couldn't really call it evidence, but I guess like the sort of conspiracy evidence everyone finds. My whole thing was how she seemed to be a clone of Mars.
Oh, you mean Poppy?
Yeah.
We're talking about Mars, so. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I was more referring to the pregnancy.
Well, no, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I thought that literally the reason why there were so many, the 336 and the blood and everybody wants it all, I thought literally that she had to leave quickly. And that's why Runaway was still out there and everything.
Yeah.
And I thought that in doing that, like Poppy was supposed to be a replica almost of her. So it was like just the younger model, I guess.
Yeah.
And like my evidence was pretty much I would watch Poppy videos and be like, she's doing it again. And look, there she's supposed to be like a clone, like the Illuminati. And that's why what Mars is trying to send us a message through Poppy. Like, it was really, really stuff that I probably should have been medicated for.
Well, something interesting that I found was that when she was in Japan, pretty well everything she wore, I think, just about, or there were multiple photos at least, of her wearing like baggy clothes and long sleeves. But also the fact that it was summer over there when she was over there.
I didn't know that. Huh.
And yeah, I mean, like, it's one thing to wear them, but if it's warm, like, why would you overheat yourself deliberately, you know?
Yeah, and she's from Michigan, so
Yeah.
I only throw that out there because I'm from Michigan, and it doesn't get very hot there. I mean, it does, but the humidity is nothing, and I don't know, maybe that's a whole other thing. Anyway, but yeah, like, a lot of times, if you move from, like, Michigan to a hotter area, you're going to be more comfortable in the colder weather, even wearing short sleeves and stuff, because you're used to that weather, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay. So I made the video, I'm so sorry I just can't. I don't know if you know of that video.
I don't know. You'll tell me.
Okay. But that was just basically after I'd done some research into that theory, and then I'm like, even if it's right, I don't feel right putting it out there.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. I mean...
Sorry, no,
Go ahead.
The whole baggy clothes thing, now I'm thinking of a really sad theory as to why. Never mind. Move on.
But she did, like, seemingly suddenly leave. Like, she was modeling, and then the next photo was, like, her passport.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's part of what I was thinking. Now I'm thinking much sadder stuff.
Of course, I mean, typical us talking about conspiracy theories and just bring it back to Mars Argo, you know?
I know, right? We're like, oh, we're just going to ramble on about conspiracy theories and more. I would really like to know, though, where the whole Poppy storyline was going, or if there was any type of storyline or if it was just random artistic stuff, but the hospital and the walking through the desert live stream and all of that, like.
So I don't remember the order exactly, but I'd say that maybe she was taken to hospital when she was taken from the desert.
Well, she was in a hospital gown
Oh,
in the desert.
so maybe
Like,
she
that's
escaped and they took her back.
Yeah, because I think that's what we were getting as, that we thought that she escaped, and then that figure came in the background. It almost looked like death. And, I mean, it would have made sense there if her whole character change had happened, like, right at that point. But I want to say there was a lot more just, like, bubblegum puppy
Well,
before that. I don't know, though.
to me, the whole baby thing, like her baby was the album.
Yeah.
But like that, yeah, I mean, there hasn't really been a storyline since.
Yeah, like, it just kind of went dark and stuff. And I don't know, maybe the lawsuit is what changed that around, too, because maybe there was stuff they were going to do, and in the settlement they had to be like, okay, yeah, no, we have to change it up.
But the time between Poppy.computer and the lawsuit's like a while.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to go back now and look at when that live stream was and everything. Because after the live
It's
stream,
still
that's
up,
when she
I'm
was
pretty
doing
sure.
yeah. Because that's when she was doing the whole playing Fortnite thing and all of that. So
I don't think so. I think the Fortnite
well, no, I
thing
mean
was like
after that, wasn't it?
it was like a year later, I think.
Yeah, like that's what I mean is if she had gone to this darker, less robotic type of character immediately after that.
She wouldn't have played Fortnite.
Well, not necessarily. I just meant that was how I was remembering when it took place, because that was still in the robotic stage.
And the pastel backgrounds.
Right.
The one thing that always annoyed me was the Titanic Sinclair video.
Which one?
The Poppy and Charlotte were in.
Yes. Yeah, the one where he's like, run along now, this doesn't concern you.
Yeah. Like, it set up something and it just... I made a video about that. I think it was titled, The Poppy Storyline That Never Happened or something like that.
I remember around that time thinking that maybe it was, that she was supposed to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
Which makes the fact I was wearing that shirt the day of the lawsuit way more ironic.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is still theories, I think, that Charlotte was Mars.
Yeah.
But another thing that always confused me was that I thought Charlotte died.
She definitely overdosed a couple of times.
So there was a video called Win the Golden Ticket.
Right, I remember. Oh, yeah, and you, like, got her head or something, didn't you?
I think you got her.
Oh, sorry, I went way dark with that. But there's pictures.
It was Titanic who ripped her head off during a concert, I think.
Yeah, and so I know that there's been theories that Charlotte and Connie were related. But
Good old
there's
Connie.
also pictures of Poppy back when she was still Mariah with Charlotte in the background.
Yeah.
So that definitely came from her, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except actually, I've seen photos in similar styles to that from 2015.
Oh, really? See, I was always under the impression, I may be completely wrong on this, like I'm not even sure why I think this, but I was always under the impression that she was used as like her mannequin for like fashion designs.
I just thought that they used her because they couldn't employ another person because no one else wanted to be part of it.
Okay, that's fair too.
Whatever happened?
Well, I don't know why Poppy had her before.
True.
I don't know.
No, but she had Bernard as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's just kind of a thing. Whatever happened to Charles Quinn?
I don't know. Probably ward of the state now. His mom was brutally murdered on stage.
But yeah, no, we could talk about Poppy and Mars theories all day.
Definitely.
But I reckon we might leave it at that for now. We have other ideas. Definitely for the next one and the one after that. But yeah, don't know when they'll be happening, but they'll be happening soon.
We intended to do this once a week, and
yeah,
we're sitting at a little over a month since I've been back, so we're not doing too bad, but you know.
Yeah, but we're not on track or schedule.
We're never on track.
No.
We are our own schedule.
Thanks for joining me again.
Anytime.
I guess I'll speak to you in the next one, and obviously in between.
I was gonna say not until then. That's how we're gonna stay on schedule.
Gotta make an alternative storyline, you know.
Right. We only can talk in podcast.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're locked up in the desert with someone chasing us.
Well, I guess technically everything else could be a podcast, but we edit it out.
That's true. We'll just record every conversation we have.
Well, I'm pretty sure the social media networks already do, so that's another conspiracy theory for another time, though. We could talk about Wish all day.
Oh, wish.
I wish it didn't exist. But yeah, as I said, thanks for joining me. Yeah.